In today's video, we're going to be diving into some productivity hacks for you to be able to source online arbitrage inventory as fast as humanly possible. If you're new to the channel, my name's Warner from SellerAmp, and it's our goal to help you source profitable products for your Amazon business much faster. And as part of that mission, we create videos to help you maximize your productivity and make even more money using SellerAmp to do online arbitrage. So if you're brand new around here, be sure to hit that subscribe button to grow your Amazon business, and let's jump into the video. So in this video, we're going to be talking about some specific productivity hacks that I use in my personal 7-figure Amazon business. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it here. So over here on the sidebar, you can see SellerAmp has embedded on the side for us, and we're going to be able to use SellerAmp to do a bunch of useful stuff for us. Right off the bat, I just want to go ahead and show off a couple of my absolute favorite productivity hacks. So let's say you just found this item right here. I noticed that this item is selling for almost $20 on Amazon. It's selling 105 times a month, not a bad item at all. And then over here on Walgreens, I noticed that this very same product is selling for $9.49. Plus there's actually a 20% off coupon on the beauty category at Walgreens right now. So really we're going to buy this item for closer to like $7.60, somewhere around there. So over here on SellerAmp, one of many reasons why you need SellerAmp is to calculate your fees for you. So you're punching in about $7.60 here. We're gonna make $3.64 profit, 47% ROI, and that's just at $17.77. So another thing I'll like to do when I'm sourcing through my leads is right now it is $19.59. So I want to check that. So $19.54, I guess. $19.54, it is a 70% ROI almost, $5 profit. It's a pretty good product right now. But I want to make sure that this product is profitable long term, and it has been profitable. So the way I like to do that is by going down here to the average 30-day price and the average 90-day price on SellerAmp. And now once I do this, all I have to do is click this button here. It's going to automatically adjust that price. I can go down to 90 days. I can click it again, make sure I'm still profitable. And in this case, the fact that I'm profitable at my 90-day average buy box price really helps me feel pretty secure in this item, that it's probably not going to tank because it's been fairly consistent that this item sells for 17 bucks and above. So really this item looks like a pretty solid lead to me. And so the next step in this process is for us to track what's actually going on and make sure we're keeping track of all the leads we're finding that are profitable. So that's right down here where the Google Sheets feature comes into play big time. You can see a couple of examples I've used here on the test account, but let's say your name is Mike, or let's say your virtual assistant's name is Mike. That's another way I like to use this feature. All you have to do is make sure your costs are plugged in up here, and that's if you want to use that feature on the sheets. All you have to do is click your name right here. Whatever you want to name these sheets, you can go in the back end and edit it all you want. And then over here on this spreadsheet over here, let's say here's your company, your XYZ company. This is just going to automatically store a ton of information about that lead automatically on the Google Sheet. It can't pull the store name and the store link, so that is kind of the only thing that we do manually. And especially within my team, this Google Sheets feature is really, really useful because on my SellerAmp account, right here on the sidebar, there's like 20 virtual assistants names, and whenever they find a lead, all they have to do is click their name and it sends over all the important information that we need. So that's really useful if you have virtual assistants. That's going to save them time, which saves you money and just keeps your virtual assistants happier when you're making them do less tedious work, like typing in sales rank and ROI and the sale price, all that kind of stuff. All you have to do is just click one button, and SellerAmp can save you a ton of time there. So like I said, we can't do store URL and the store name, so we can just go ahead and do that right there. Pretty simple, just to make sure you've got everything all in one place. You've got your Amazon URL, you've got your store URL now. You can store your cost price. I would also go ahead and throw on maybe like a coupons blank back here, and that way a coupon / notes kind of area back here, so we could write down whatever coupon. I think the coupon right now is like glam 20 for the beauty category. I know there was one yesterday or the day before that was 25% off, but there you go. You can write all that down in one place, and then instead of having to do your purchasing one by one, so in this case we found this item, we know it's good. Theoretically you could go ahead and just run your orders right away, but really the more efficient way to go ahead and do that, again, this video is all about saving time and optimizing your systems. Instead of placing an order for this right now, ordering one unit of it, you want to get to the end of the day or the end of this kind of coupon cycle and make sure you're ordering your inventory in bulk a little bit, as much as possible. Depending on the site's cancellation patterns, you're gonna have to figure out what's really working for you. But with a site like Walgreens, I like to place several different items at once, max it out. Usually you're gonna be limited to a maximum, right here, we're limited to a maximum quantity of 12. So I would buy 12 of this and 12 of something else that I find in Walgreens, maybe 12 of 2 more products that I find at Walgreens. And then that way at the end of the day, I've got my spreadsheet here. I can see how many products I found today that were Walgreens based. Let's say I get to the end of the day and I have 3 products that are from Walgreens. All I'm going to do then is go ahead and click these store URLs, open those back up, and then I've got some orders to place, and it's going to be a lot easier than placing 9 separate orders. If you're just going to do 3 orders of 36 units, obviously it's going to save you time there, help you batch everything all together there. But this Google Sheets feature is super useful. I use it all the time in my business. This is just one example of how I would use it. Again, this is kind of how our virtual assistants would use it when they're adding leads to their spreadsheets. Another way you can use it, I kind of had it on here already, is you can do Christmas, Easter, Halloween, back to school, whatever holidays you want to be monitoring. And then when you come across an item on Amazon, let's say it's a Lego set or something like that, where the price gets super inflated during Christmas time. Obviously right now in the middle of the summer, we're not really quite ready to start stocking up on winter inventory yet, kind of that Christmas inventory. But come October, come November, we're definitely gonna be ready to start looking at those products that did really well last Christmas. We're gonna see if there's any early signs that that item might be good to go ahead and purchase again this year. And just having these focused lists is gonna help you a ton. I know I reference these Google Sheets a bunch right around when we're getting close to season. So back to school, I've just been checking out my back to school. So you can see here on my Google Sheets, we've got back to school, and in my personal Amazon business, I just referenced my back to school Google Sheet, found a couple items on there, some backpacks, that kind of stuff that we were able to flip. Just because I came across some items in the past, didn't make a lot of sense when I looked at them. So I went ahead and added it to a Google Sheet. And now that we're getting closer to back to school, it looks to be kind of a smarter opportunity to go ahead and hop on some of those items. Another productivity hack that I would highly recommend for you guys who are using SellerAmp is to go ahead and bake in some fees on the back end. I know when we are outsourcing products, a lot of times, you know, we saw this product right here. It's $9.49, 20% off. Just for simplicity's sake, let's say that it's an $8 product, but that's not 100% of your costs, right? You're also going to have your prep costs and the amount you're paying for your poly bags, and you know, any shipping costs, all that kind of stuff. And we want to make sure we're considering all of that when we're looking at the full picture to make sure items are actually pretty genuinely profitable. You can do that every time you're going to go ahead and list a product. You know, if you mouse over this box right here, we can see what the product weighs. We can multiply that times whatever you're paying for shipping on average. So in my case, I generally pay about 30 cents per pound to ship. This product's like 3 ounces or so. So really I'd be paying like a nickel, maybe a dime to ship this product. That's kind of pretty generous. But you don't want to have to do that kind of manual calculation every time, especially when you're talking about prep centers. Like every time it's just going to be adding $1, maybe $1.50, depending on whatever you're paying for your prep center. So it's going to save you a lot of time if you go ahead and bake in those fees beforehand. You're not going to have to do those mental calculations, all that kind of stuff. So you can go ahead and go into the back end of your SellerAmp here. And when you go to your account, you can go over here and go to settings. So now that we're in the back end of our settings here, we can go ahead and tweak a lot with these fees here. And another thing I want to go ahead and point out here is when we're looking at a listing like this, where it says it's going to mark this BSR green, it marked the profit green, it marked the ROI green. But let's say we type in $10. Now it knows that that doesn't meet our standards in terms of profit per unit and in terms of ROI. So if you want to play with those settings and see what's working well for your business, you can do that here on the back end. So if you are brand new to selling on Amazon and you're a little bit risk averse, maybe you throw I only want to make $5 minimum per unit, and let's say I only want 50% ROI. So you could go ahead and throw that in there. And then once we go ahead and hop over here to this page over here, that's going to update for us. I believe we need to click save. So if you are that brand new seller and you're going to be a little bit more risk averse when you first start out, you can see it went ahead and updated for us. Now it's telling me this is red. You know, you might want to take a look at this. It's not quite as much profit as you're usually looking for. And another thing, this is a whole different topic within SellerAmp. When you're doing reverse searching, where we click here, there's other tutorials on this on the channel. We can kind of see what other people are selling, kind of reverse engineer some profits there. But that is how this max cost option is decided. So as we're scrolling through here looking for other opportunities, this max cost box helps a ton because it kind of helps me gauge, I'm probably not gonna be able to buy this item for $3.85. Probably definitely not gonna be able to buy this item for -$5. But this number is based on whatever settings you have set there in your backend. So right now it's trying to give me a minimum ROI of 50%. So if I went ahead and changed it back to 35% and $3 profit, like I will, that would go ahead and update for you automatically. But that's just going to be one quick way here to make sure that as you're storefront stocking, these max cost options are based off of what you genuinely want to be looking at. But jumping back in here into the settings, when we can go ahead and bake in these additional costs here, that's going to save us time, right? We're not going to have to do those mental calculations, all that kind of stuff. So let's say we're paying $1.50 for prep and we're paying 30 cents a pound for shipping. And after all our boxes and our poly bags and all that kind of stuff, we kind of average that cost out to be 10 cents. Now what we just need to do is click save here. And now every time it runs these fee calculations, see, we can go ahead and refresh this page over here. And now when it does this, it's going to automatically bake those extra fees in here. That way you know for certain you're genuinely making a profit when you're looking at an item like this. So right here we can see we've got $8, but the profit's gone down a little bit, ROI's gone down a little bit, because now it's baking in all of those fees that we told it to consider. You can see right here on the total fees, we've got 4 cents for inbound shipping, we've got that $1.50 prep fee, and the miscellaneous polybag box fee right there. So that's a great way to save you some time as well. And then the last time-saving tip that I want to talk about in this video is going to be especially useful if you're kind of a sourceaholic, or if you have several virtual assistants who are on your team finding items. I think it's really useful because let's say, we go ahead and refresh this page. You would expect that this fee calculation box probably goes blank again. A lot of fee calculators would go blank here, but when we actually go ahead and check this out, we can see that now the costs are still stored here. It still knows that we were looking at it for $8. It's got all that plugged in, and this principle applies even if you had punched in a cost price on a different computer or anything like that, because we can see down here in my lookup history, we can see that on July 11th, it looks like we had looked at this product, saw that it was $8.50 around there. I think it was a little bit of a different coupon. And then back on the 14th, again, we noticed it again for $7. And this is really useful because as you saw when we refreshed the page, there was still a cost price plugged in here. So let's say you're sourcing through thousands of items and you've forgotten what you've looked at, or your virtual assistant team is on the same SellerAmp account as you can actually go ahead and see what they've already seen, just kind of based on the fact that there's already a cost price punched in here. And in my personal Amazon business, this actually happens to me quite a lot, where I might be kind of going on a rabbit trail trying to find items similar to something that my virtual assistant found. But if there's a cost price already plugged in there, I'm going to be a lot less likely to investigate unless I kind of have a hunch or I know of a coupon where I might be able to make something work. If I see that there's a cost price already plugged in for that item, generally I know that my virtual assistant team has already looked through that product, and it kind of saves me some time there. Just knowing that we're not doubling up, doing the same research, looking for the same product definitely helps our team and myself save a ton of time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got a ton of value out of it. If you did want to go ahead and get started on your journey with using SellerAmp, activating that tool and increasing the power of your software arsenal, I'm super confident in the value. I couldn't run my 7-figure Amazon business without SellerAmp, so definitely go ahead and check out a free trial linked directly beneath me. But also let me know if you have any questions or comments, anything like that. I'm always happy to answer those down below as well. But I really appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you next time.